Hey guys, this is Pastor Caleb. I'm out here in front of my house taking a few minutes, and we're going to do a little segment that I want to call Going Deeper. The questions are now up on the app as you guys are getting ready for your Connect group. And what we want to do is just take 2-3 minutes and talk a little bit about how these particular questions connect with some of the stuff that we were going over Sunday morning in our message. Now, you might remember Sunday we were talking about the church in Pergamum, one of the 7 churches in the book of Revelation that Jesus is writing a letter to. In this church, we call it the compromising church, as it began to look a little bit more like the world than the church. And so Jesus had a strong word to remind them, to encourage them, to say, hey guys, you're starting to look like you're going after the way of Balaam, which was a guy that had set up a stumbling block to Israel to get them to focus on idols, and those idols began to lead them into idolatry. And so what we're talking about in our group this week is this idea of idolatry. And the first question is really all about how sometimes good things can actually become idols. Idols aren't just little trinkets and, evil things, that sometimes good things can actually become idols as well. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how some of the good things in our lives actually can look like or become idols, and maybe see how that's happened in the lives of some of our family and our friends. Maybe work or a particular relationship. Maybe we've seen that. And idols tend to enslave. They tend to take over one's life. And that's where often it leads to compromise. Sometimes the idol of money, or the idol of a relationship, an idol of a job for significance, and we can see how it can destroy a family. Sometimes we can see that these ideas are a part of our regular culture. Maybe it's only, where we see in God's Word that we look at this and realize, wow, that's an idol. But when we watch on TV, we think, man, this is the way life is supposed to be. And so the next question kind of discusses some of these things that we see in our culture that may look at idolatry and say, wow, this is normal. And it helps for us to identify that and say, wow, that's really a part of our culture. The last 2 questions are focusing on the solution, because I think as we identify idols in our heart, one of the things that we talked about is our need to uproot those idols by saying, you know what, the gospel, Jesus, is really the one answer, the one thing that meets that longing that I'm trying to meet with someone or something else. And so it's good to start to discuss how the gospel goes to meet those core needs, and then maybe take some steps to say, what are some things that I can begin doing this week to not only uproot those idols, but to begin to make the gospel my focus, and maybe beginning to understand God's promises, maybe to go a little bit deeper, maybe to invite somebody into our lives to help hold us accountable, to encourage us, as we look to tear down these idols and build up altars to Jesus, make Him the focus of our life. All right, guys. Lord bless you. I look forward to an amazing week in your groups, and may God bless that time with your Connect groups. All right, we'll see you soon.